have the power within you to change your life. Right now, at this very moment, you possess an incredible ability, the ability to choose your thoughts. And that choice is the key to unlocking your full potential. Negative thinking is a thief. It steals your joy, robs you of opportunities, and keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. But today we are going to put an end to that. We are going to kill negative thinking once and for all. How many times have you talked yourself out of pursuing your dreams? How often have you let that little voice in your head tell you that you're not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough? That voice is a liar, and it's time to silence it. You see, your mind is like a garden. The thoughts you plant and nurture are the ones that will grow. If you constantly feed yourself negative thoughts, guess what? That's exactly what you will reap in your life. But if you choose to plant seeds of positivity and self-belief, you will harvest a life beyond your wildest dreams. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing how you respond to those challenges. It's about recognizing that you have the strength within you to overcome any obstacle. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who grew up in poverty. He had every reason to believe that life was unfair, that success was for other people, not for him. But he made a choice. He decided that his circumstances would not define him. He chose to believe in his potential, to focus on the opportunities rather than the obstacles. Day by day, he worked on his mindset. When negative thoughts crept in, he didn't just push them away. He replaced them with positive affirmations. He surrounded himself with people who believed in him. He read books that inspired him. He set goals and worked tirelessly towards them. Today, that young man is a successful entrepreneur, a loving father, and a pillar of his community. He didn't get there by magic. He got there by killing his negative thinking and nurturing a mindset of growth and possibility. You have that same power within you. You can rewrite your story starting today. But it requires action. It requires commitment. It requires you to be vigilant about the thoughts you allow to take root in your mind. So how do we do it? How do we kill negative thinking once and for all? First, we need to become aware of our thoughts. Most of us go through life on autopilot, letting our thoughts run wild without ever examining them. Start paying attention to the voice in your head. What's it saying? Is it encouraging you or tearing you down? Once you're aware of your thoughts, challenge them. When a negative thought pops up, ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have to support this thought? More often than not, you will find that your negative thoughts are based on fear and insecurity, not on facts. Next, replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing to focus on the good, on the possible, on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. For example, instead of thinking, I'm not smart enough to get that promotion, try, I have valuable skills and experience to offer. I'm going to work hard and give it my best shot. Remember, your brain believes what you tell it. If you constantly feed it negative messages, it will look for evidence to support those messages. But if you choose to feed it positive, empowering thoughts, it will start to seek out evidence to support those instead. Another powerful tool in killing negative thinking is gratitude. It's impossible to feel negative when you're focused on what you're grateful for. Make it a daily practice to list at least 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for the warm sun on your face, for the friend who called to check on you, or for the delicious meal you had for lunch. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong in your life to what's right. It trains your brain to look for the positive, and over time, this becomes your default mode of thinking. The language you use, both in your internal dialogue and in your conversations with others, shapes your reality. Words have energy. They have the power to lift you up or tear you down. Start paying attention to the words you use. Are you constantly saying things like, I can't, it's too hard, or I will never be able to? These you say you can, you open up a world of possibilities. Change your language. Instead of, Can't. Say, how can I? Instead of, it's too hard. Say, this is challenging, but I'm growing stronger. Instead of, I will never be able to. Say, I'm working towards this goal. Your words create your world. Choose them wisely. Another crucial aspect of killing negative thinking is surrounding yourself with positivity. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the shows you watch, all of these influence your mindset. Take a look at your circle of friends. Are they supportive and encouraging, or do they constantly complain and bring you down? You don't have to cut negative people out of your life entirely, but you do need to limit your exposure to negativity. Seek out positive influences. Find mentors who inspire you. Read books that challenge you to think bigger. Listen to podcasts that fill you with motivation and hope. The more you surround yourself with positivity, the easier it becomes to maintain a positive mindset. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but my life is really tough right now. How can I be positive when everything seems to be going wrong? I hear you. Life can be incredibly challenging. We all face setbacks, disappointments, and heartbreaks. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond to it. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, said, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Even in the darkest of times, you have the power to choose your attitude. You have the power to find meaning in your struggles, to use your challenges as fuel for growth. When you're faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunities might this create? This doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging your feelings, processing them in a healthy way, and then choosing to move forward with hope and determination. Remember, every successful person you admire has faced failure and disappointment. The difference is that they didn't let those setbacks define them. They used them as stepping stones to success. Thomas Edison famously said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of a winner. That's the kind of thinking that changes the world. So how do you maintain this positive mindset when things get tough? One powerful technique is visualization. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you visualize success, you're literally rewiring your brain for success. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals. See yourself giving that presentation with confidence. Feel the joy of crossing that finish line. Hear the applause as you accept that award. The more real you make it in your mind, the more your subconscious will work to make it a reality. You're programming yourself for success. Another crucial aspect of maintaining a positive mindset is taking care of your physical health. Your mind and body are interconnected. When you neglect your physical health, it becomes much harder to maintain a positive outlook. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Eat nutritious foods that fuel your body and mind. Exercise regularly is not just good for your body. It releases endorphins that boost your mood and reduce stress. Meditation and mindfulness practices can also be incredibly powerful in combating negative thinking. They help you become more aware of your thoughts and give you the tools to control them, rather than letting them control you. Without clear goals, it's easy to fall into negative thinking. You might feel like you're drifting aimlessly, which can lead to feelings of frustration and hopelessness. Set clear, specific goals for yourself. Write them down. Break them down into smaller, actionable steps. Celebrate your progress along the way. Having goals gives you direction. It gives you something positive to focus on. It gives you a reason to push through the tough times. Your goals need to be your own. Don't set goals based on what others expect of you or what society tells you should want. Set goals that align with your values, your passions, your purpose. Speaking of purpose, that's another crucial element in killing negative thinking. When you have a clear sense of purpose, it becomes much easier to maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to be meaningful to you. Maybe your purpose is to be the best parent you can be. Maybe it's to create art that touches people's hearts. Maybe it's to solve problems in your community. Whatever it is, when you're clear on your purpose, it gives you a North Star to guide you. It gives your life meaning beyond just your day-to-day tasks and challenges. Some people believe that thinking positively means ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. That's not what we are talking about here. Positive thinking isn't about denial. It's about approaching problems with a constructive attitude. It's about believing in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. When you face a problem, instead of thinking, this is terrible, I will never get through this, try thinking, this is challenging, but I have overcome challenges before and I can do it again. It's about shifting from a victim mentality to an empowered mentality. You're not helpless. You're not at the mercy of your circumstances. You have the power to shape your life. Another powerful tool in killing negative thinking is forgiveness. Holding on to grudges and resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only hurts you. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened or letting someone off the hook. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger and bitterness. It means choosing peace over resentment. This includes forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets. But dwelling on past mistakes only keeps you stuck. Learn from your mistakes, make amends when necessary, and then let go and move forward. Remember, you're not defined by your past. You're defined by who you choose to be right now in this moment. Positive thinking is crucial, but it needs to be coupled with positive action. You can't just sit around thinking positive thoughts and expect your life to change. When you take action towards your goals, no matter how small, it creates momentum. It builds your confidence. It proves to yourself that you're capable of creating change in your life. Start small if you need to. Maybe it's making your bed every morning. Maybe it's going for a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's sending that email you have been putting off. Whatever it is, take that first step. Action feeds motivation. The more you do, the more you will want to do. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering size and momentum as it goes. Another key aspect of killing negative thinking is learning to embrace failure. So many of us are paralyzed by the fear of failure. We'd rather not try at all than risk failing. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed many, many times. The difference is that they didn't let those failures stop them. When you fail, choose to see it as feedback, not as a final verdict on your abilities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Develop a growth mindset. Believe that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Your talents are just the starting point. It's your effort and perseverance that will determine your success. In today's social media age, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We see carefully curated highlights of other people's lives and think we are falling short. You're on your own journey. Your path is unique to you. The only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own growth. Celebrate your own progress, no matter how small it might seem. Remember, success is not a finite resource. Someone else's success doesn't diminish your own potential for success. In fact, other people's success can be inspiring. It can show you what's possible. Another powerful technique for killing negative thinking is reframing. This means looking at situations from a different perspective. It's about finding the opportunity in every difficulty. Lost your job? Maybe this is the push you needed to start that business you have been dreaming about. Relationship ended? Perhaps this is making space in your life for someone who's a better match for you. Reframing doesn't mean ignoring the pain or difficulty of a situation. It means choosing to focus on the potential for growth and positive change. The importance of self-care in maintaining a positive mindset. So often we put ourselves last. We take care of everyone and everything else and then wonder why we feel drained and negative. Make self-care a priority. This isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself allows you to show up fully in all areas of your life. Self-care looks different for everyone. Maybe for you it's taking a long bath, reading a good book, or going for a hike in nature. Maybe it's saying no to commitments that drain you. Maybe it's setting boundaries in your relationships. Whatever it is, make time for it. Schedule it into your day like you would any other important. Another crucial aspect of killing negative thinking is cultivating resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's what allows you to keep going when things get tough. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's a skill you can develop. You build resilience by facing challenges and learning from them. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you become stronger and more confident in your ability to handle future challenges. One way to build resilience is by practicing optimistic self-talk. When you face a setback, instead of thinking, "This always happens to me, I will never succeed," try thinking, "This is a temporary setback. I can learn from this and come back stronger." Remember, resilience doesn't mean you never feel negative emotions. It means you don't let those emotions control you or define you. Your physical space can have a big impact on your mental state. A chaotic environment can lead to chaotic thinking. Take some time to create an environment that supports positive thinking. This might mean decluttering your space, adding plants or artwork that inspire you, or creating a dedicated area for relaxation or meditation. Your digital environment matters too. Are you constantly bombarded with negative news and social media posts? Consider curating your online experience to include more positive, uplifting content. Another powerful tool in killing negative thinking is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. When you practice mindfulness, you create space between yourself and your thoughts. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but they don't define you. This awareness allows you to choose which thoughts you want to engage with. You can acknowledge negative thoughts without letting them take over. You can choose to redirect your focus to more positive, constructive thoughts. The importance of celebrating your wins, no matter how small. So often we are focused on the next goal, the next challenge, that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. Take time each day to celebrate your progress. Maybe you made a healthy food choice. Maybe you had a good conversation with a coworker. Maybe you took a small step towards one of your goals. Celebrating these small wins builds momentum. It reinforces positive behavior. It trains your brain to look for the good in your life. Another crucial aspect of maintaining a positive mindset is continuous learning and growth. When you're constantly learning and expanding your knowledge and skills, it's hard to feel stuck or negative. Make learning a lifelong habit. Read books, take courses, try new things, push yourself out of your comfort zone. The more you grow, the more confident and positive you will become. Remember, growth often happens outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Each time you overcome a challenge, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. The power of service in killing negative thinking. When you're focused on helping others, it's hard to stay stuck in negative thoughts about yourself. Find ways to serve others. It could be volunteering in your community, mentoring someone, or simply being there for a friend in need. When you make a positive difference in someone else's life, it naturally uplifts your own spirit. Service shifts your focus from your own problems to the needs of others. It gives you perspective. It reminds you that you have value to offer the world. It connects you to something bigger than yourself. Remember, you don't need to do grand gestures to make a difference. Small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, spreading positivity far beyond what you can see. In the pursuit of killing negative thinking, it's crucial to understand the concept of neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed. It's constantly changing, forming new neural connections based on your thoughts and experiences. This means you have the power to rewire your brain for positivity. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, you're strengthening those positive neural pathways. Over time, positive thinking becomes more natural, more automatic. It's like carving a path through a dense forest. The first time is hard, but each time you walk that path, it becomes clearer and easier to follow. Eventually, it becomes the path of least resistance. Another powerful tool in combating negative thinking is the practice of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself regularly. They help counter negative self-talk and reinforce positive beliefs about yourself and your life. Choose affirmations that resonate with you. Maybe it's, I am capable of handling whatever comes my way. Or I am worthy of love and success. Repeat these to yourself daily, especially when you feel negative thoughts creeping in. At first, these affirmations might feel forced or untrue. That's okay. Keep at it. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. The more you repeat these positive statements, the more your mind will accept them as truth. The importance of emotional intelligence in maintaining a positive mindset. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. When you have high emotional intelligence, you're less likely to be swept away by negative emotions. You can acknowledge your feelings without being controlled by them. You can respond to situations thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Developing emotional intelligence involves practicing self-awareness. Pay attention to your emotions. What triggers them? How do they manifest in your body? The more aware you are of your emotional patterns, the better equipped you will be to manage them. Another aspect of killing negative thinking is learning to set and maintain healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your mental and emotional well-being. They define what you will and won't accept in your life. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to fall into people-pleasing behaviors, to take on too much, or to allow others to treat you in ways that undermine your self-esteem. All of these can feed into negative thinking patterns. Setting boundaries might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to it. But remember, it's not selfish to take care of yourself. In fact, having healthy boundaries allows you to show up more fully and authentically in all areas of your life. In our journey to eliminate negative thinking, it's important to address the role of perfectionism. While striving for excellence can be positive, perfectionism often leads to negative self-talk and unrealistic expectations. Perfectionism tells you that you're never good enough, that you always need to do more, be more. It's a breeding ground for negative thoughts and self-doubt. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Embrace the concept of good enough. Recognize that making mistakes and having flaws doesn't diminish your worth. It makes you human. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be better than you were yesterday. Another powerful strategy in combating negative thinking is practicing radical acceptance. This doesn't mean you have to like everything that happens in your life. It means accepting reality as it is, rather than fighting against it. When you resist reality, you create suffering for yourself. You waste energy fighting against things you can't change. Acceptance frees up that energy, allowing you to focus on what you can control, your response to the situation. Radical acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to negative circumstances. It means acknowledging what is, so you can then decide how to move forward in a constructive way. When you approach life with curiosity, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You're less likely to make negative assumptions or jump to conclusions. Instead of immediately labeling a situation as bad, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How might this be an opportunity for growth? What new perspectives can I gain from this experience? Curiosity keeps your mind flexible and open. It helps you see beyond your initial reactions and find new solutions to challenges. Another crucial aspect of maintaining a positive mindset is managing your energy. Your thoughts and emotions are closely tied to your physical and mental energy levels. When you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed, it's much harder to maintain positive thoughts. This means knowing when to push yourself and when to rest. It means prioritizing activities that energize you and limiting those that drain you. It means learning to say no to commitments that don't align with your values or goals. Remember, you're not a machine. You can't be on all the time. Allow yourself time to rest and recharge. It's not lazy, it's necessary for maintaining a positive, productive mindset. In our quest to kill negative thinking, it's important to address the impact of your social circle. The people you spend time with have a huge influence on your thoughts and attitudes. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who believe in you and encourage your growth. Limit your exposure to chronic complainers and pessimists. Their negativity can be contagious. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life entirely. But it does mean being mindful of how much time and energy you're giving to relationships that bring you down. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Another powerful tool in combating negative thinking is the practice of journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you process them more effectively. It can help you identify negative thought patterns and challenge them. Try keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Or try A, Wins Journal, where you record your daily accomplishments, no matter how small. Journaling can also be a great way to track your progress over time. When you're feeling down, you can look back and see how far you have come. The importance of laughter and joy in maintaining a positive mindset. Laughter is a powerful antidote to negative thinking. It releases endorphins, reduces stress, and helps you maintain perspective. Make time for activities that bring you joy and laughter. Watch a funny movie. Spend time with people who make you laugh. Find humor in everyday situations. Remember, life doesn't have to be serious all the time. It's okay to be playful, to be silly, to laugh at yourself sometimes. Another crucial aspect of killing negative thinking is learning to trust yourself. So often, negative thoughts stem from a lack of self-trust. We doubt our decisions, our abilities, our worth. Building self-trust takes time and practice. It involves keeping promises to yourself, honoring your own boundaries, and learning to listen to your intuition. Start small. Make a commitment to yourself and follow through, no matter how trivial it might seem. Each time you do this, you're building trust with yourself. Remember, you are the one constant in your life. Learning to trust yourself is one of the most powerful ways to combat negative thinking and build confidence. In our journey to eliminate negative thinking, it's important to address the role of comparison. In today's digital age, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. Remember, social media is a highlight reel. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's polished performance. This kind of comparison is a breeding ground for negative thoughts and feelings of inadequacy. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Focus on your own growth and progress. Celebrate your own unique journey. Another powerful strategy in combating negative thinking is practicing self-compassion. So often we are our own harshest critics. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to a friend. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a good friend. It means recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges. It means being gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and ask, would I say this to a friend? If not, why am I saying it to myself? Then reframe your thoughts in a more compassionate way. The power of visualization in overcoming negative thinking. Your mind responds to vivid imagery. When you visualize positive outcomes, you're programming your subconscious to look for ways to make those outcomes a reality. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals as if they've already been achieved. See yourself succeeding. Feel the emotions of accomplishment and joy. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more powerful this technique becomes. Remember, your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Use this to your advantage in combating negative thoughts and building confidence. Another crucial aspect of maintaining a positive mindset is learning to embrace uncertainty. So often, negative thinking stems from our fear of the unknown. We worry about what might happen, creating worst-case scenarios in our minds. Uncertainty is a fundamental part of life. No one knows exactly what the future holds. Instead of fearing uncertainty, try to see it as full of possibility. Every uncertain situation holds the potential for positive outcomes. Cultivate a sense of adventure. See uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and discovery. Remember, some of the best things in life come from unexpected places. Killing negative thinking is not about never having a negative thought. It's about learning to recognize those thoughts, challenge them, and choose more positive, empowering ways of thinking. It's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs. There will be days when negative thoughts feel overwhelming. But with practice and persistence, you can rewire your brain for positivity. Remember, you have the power to choose your thoughts. You have the power to shape your reality. You have the power to create a life filled with joy, purpose, and positivity. Hello everyone and welcome back. I am so grateful you have joined me today. And I can't wait to dive into something that has the power to change your life. Love is one of life's greatest gifts, but it's also one of its most misunderstood mysteries. When a man loves you, his actions may not always align with what you expect. His silence might confuse you, his absence might hurt, and his detachment might lead you to question his love. But love, especially in the heart of a man, operates on principles deeper than feelings alone. When a man who loves you seems to ignore you, it's not always a sign of rejection or indifference. Often it is a reflection of his nature and his internal process. Love for a man is not just about what he feels for you, it's about who he becomes because of you. And sometimes becoming the man you need requires a focus that may temporarily take his eyes off you. A man's purpose and vision define him. When a man loves deeply, he begins to think about the future, your future. He considers the weight of his responsibility, the provision he must ensure, and the stability he must create. This drive can absorb his attention, making him appear distant. He's not ignoring you because he doesn't care. He's preparing for what he believes will sustain your relationship in the long term. Men process emotions differently. While women often find strength in sharing, men are conditioned to internalize. His silence is not an absence of love, but an indication of his need to navigate his feelings in his own way. He retreats not to create distance, but to find clarity, balance, and solutions. A man who loves you will also respect your individuality. He may step back, not because he doesn't want to be close, but because he recognizes the value of giving you space to grow. Love doesn't suffocate, it empowers. It allows you to be you while he works on being the best version of himself. Sometimes a man's withdrawal is born of insecurity. He questions himself whether he's good enough, whether he can meet your expectations, whether he's ready to carry the weight of your trust. In those moments, his silence is not a lack of love, but a fear of inadequacy. He's wrestling with his own demons, trying to ensure he's worthy of the love you give. And then there are times when a man tests the waters not to manipulate, but to ensure the relationship's stability. He steps back to see how the bond holds in his absence, to understand whether it's built on patience, trust, and mutual respect. So if a man who loves you seems to ignore you, don't rush to doubt his feelings. Love is a journey, not a sprint. It's a process of building, refining, and growing. Trust that his love is working, even in the silence. Trust that his actions, though misunderstood in the moment, are rooted in a desire to secure something lasting. True love isn't always expressed in words or constant attention. Sometimes it's shown in the quiet, unseen moments where he's preparing himself for you and for the life you're meant to share. Love is a multifaceted experience, and it doesn't always manifest in ways that are immediately visible or easily understood. Many expect love to come with constant attention, affection, and expressions of care. But true love often transcends these visible gestures. For a man, love isn't always about how often he speaks to you or how frequently he showers you with attention. Sometimes his love is expressed in quieter, more subtle ways that may not align with your expectations but are no less genuine. When a man loves you, his actions may take a form that is less obvious but deeply meaningful. He might focus on building a secure future, creating opportunities, or solving problems to ensure stability for you both. These efforts, while not always outwardly affectionate, are powerful demonstrations of his love. They require time, energy, and focus, which may momentarily divert his attention away from you. This doesn't mean he values you any less. In fact, it's because he values you so much that he's willing to make sacrifices behind the scenes. It's important to recognize that love can exist in the quiet spaces. It's in the moments when he prioritizes your needs over his own, even if he doesn't say it outright. It's in the decisions he makes to protect you or provide for you, even if those choices lead to temporary distance. His silence or perceived lack of attention may be his way of working through responsibilities, challenges, or goals that ultimately serve your relationship. Love is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's found in the restraint to not overwhelm you, the patience to let you grow, and the discipline to prepare for a better tomorrow. These quiet forms of love can be easy to overlook, but they carry a depth that goes beyond surface level expressions. To truly understand love, it's essential to look beyond the need for constant attention and see the intention behind his actions. That's where the heart of his love truly resides. When a man truly loves you, his sense of purpose and vision becomes even more significant. Love doesn't just stir his emotions, it ignites his responsibility. He begins to think not only about what he feels for you, but about what he must build to ensure a meaningful and secure future together. For many men, their sense of identity is closely tied to their purpose, the work they do, the dreams they chase, and the goals they strive to achieve. This purpose often takes priority, not as a dismissal of love, but as an expression of it. A man who loves deeply often feels the weight of providing and protecting. This responsibility compels him to focus on his vision, the blueprint for the life he wants to create. In his mind, this is not separate from his love for you. It's a natural extension of it. Every decision, every sacrifice, and every moment of hard work is driven by his desire to ensure that the foundation of your relationship is strong and enduring. However, this focus on purpose can sometimes make him appear distant or inattentive. While you might interpret his seeming preoccupation as a lack of care, it's often the opposite. His attention shifts to the tasks that he believes will benefit you both. He becomes consumed by the pursuit of progress, whether it's advancing his career, solving financial challenges, or preparing for long-term goals. Purpose-driven men understand that love without direction can falter. They are acutely aware that feelings alone cannot sustain a relationship in the face of life's challenges. Their love compels them to think ahead, to strategize, and to act with intention. This may mean that their time and energy are temporarily redirected, not away from you, but toward what they believe will strengthen your bond. It's essential to recognize that this prioritization of vision is not neglect. Instead, it's a sign of his commitment to creating a life that honors you in the relationship. He's not distracted from you. He's focused on building something greater because of you. His love fuels his purpose, and his purpose is his way of showing you how deeply he cares. Understanding this dynamic requires trust and patience, knowing that his heart is aligned with his actions, even when his attention seems elsewhere. Men and women often experience and process emotions in fundamentally different ways. These differences are not about right or wrong. They are rooted in how individuals are wired. When a man loves you, his way of handling emotions may not always align with your expectations, leading to moments of confusion or even frustration. It's easy to mistake his silence or withdrawal as a lack of care, but in truth, it's often his way of managing emotions in a manner that feels natural to him. Many men are conditioned to approach emotions inwardly, seeking solitude to reflect and make sense of their thoughts. Unlike the outward expression of emotions that some may prefer, men often internalize. This doesn't mean they are unemotional or indifferent. It means they are processing. A man might retreat into silence, not because he doesn't want to share with you, but because he's trying to understand his feelings before presenting them. This inward focus allows him to resolve his emotions, especially in moments of stress, doubt, or vulnerability. Sharing prematurely might feel overwhelming to him or risk creating misunderstandings. He might feel that he needs to first figure it out on his own before opening up. While this approach can leave you feeling excluded, it's rarely about pushing you away. It's about protecting the relationship from hasty or unclear communication. It's also important to note that society often teaches men to suppress vulnerability. Showing emotion may feel to him like exposing a weakness, even in the presence of someone he deeply trusts. He might need time to feel safe enough to share or to work through his emotions in a way that aligns with his sense of strength and stability. Understanding these differences requires patience and empathy. Just because his emotional expression isn't immediate or visible doesn't mean he isn't feeling deeply. His love is still present, even in the silence. When he does choose to open up, it's a sign of trust and respect, a moment where his internal processing aligns with his desire to connect with you. In these times, rather than demanding immediate answers, offering reassurance and a safe space can make all the difference. His way of processing might not mirror yours, but it is still a testament to his love and his effort to navigate emotions in the best way he knows how. Love thrives when there is mutual respect. And one of the most profound ways a man shows love is by honoring your boundaries. While it may seem counterintuitive, a man who loves you deeply may sometimes appear to create distance, not out of disinterest, but out of a desire to respect your individuality. He understands that true love is not about control or constant closeness, but about allowing space for personal growth and freedom. A man who values you will recognize that you are your own person with dreams, needs, and aspirations separate from the relationship. He doesn't seek to overshadow or absorb you, but to walk alongside you as a partner. This respect for your autonomy might mean giving you time to pursue your passions, nurture your friendships, or simply recharge on your own terms. While he may long to be with you constantly, his love compels him to step back when needed, trusting that space strengthens rather than weakens the bond you share. This respect extends to emotional and mental boundaries as well. A man who loves you will not force you into discussions or actions you are not ready for. He may wait patiently for you to open up about your feelings, recognizing that trust and vulnerability take time. His restraint is not a sign of indifference, but a reflection of his commitment to ensuring you feel safe and respected. However, this respect for boundaries can sometimes be misinterpreted. You might feel that his distance or hesitance indicates a lack of interest, but in reality, it's his way of ensuring the relationship remains balanced and healthy. He understands that love cannot be sustained through pressure or insistence. It must flow freely, nurtured by mutual understanding and respect. By honoring your boundaries, he also sets a precedent for how he wishes to be treated. He values his own sense of self and knows that a strong partnership requires two whole, fulfilled individuals. His actions are a testament to his belief that love is not about losing oneself, but about finding a way to grow together while preserving individual identities. In moments where this respect for boundaries feels like distance, it's important to trust his intentions. His love is not diminished by the space he gives you. It is amplified by his understanding that true intimacy is built on freedom, trust, and the ability to be fully yourself within the relationship. When a man truly loves you, one of his greatest concerns might be the impact of his own struggles and burdens on you. Love for him is not just about what he can share, but also about what he might need to shield you from. This concern can lead to moments when he withdraws, not because he doesn't value your presence or support, but because he fears overwhelming you with the weight of his own challenges. A man who loves deeply often feels a responsibility to protect you emotionally. He might hesitate to share his fears, anxieties, or uncertainties because he doesn't want to burden you with his struggles. This isn't about underestimating your strength or ability to handle the truth. It's about his desire to ensure your happiness and well-being. To him, love means sparing you from unnecessary stress, even if it means carrying the weight alone. This tendency can be rooted in how he perceives his role in the relationship. Many men feel an innate drive to be a source of stability and security. When they face difficulties, whether personal, professional, or emotional, they might see sharing those struggles as a failure to uphold that role. In their minds, retreating to solve the problem independently is a way of demonstrating love and strength, even if it creates temporary distance. However, this approach can sometimes backfire. From your perspective, his silence or withdrawal might feel like exclusion, leaving you to wonder if he trusts you or values your support. The reality is that his actions are often motivated by love and a deep desire to protect the relationship from unnecessary strain. He believes that handling things on his own is his way of honoring you, even if it's not always the most effective way to foster connection. To navigate this dynamic, it's important to approach him with empathy and reassurance. Let him know that you value his strength, but also cherish the opportunity to be a partner in both the joys and challenges of life. Encourage him to see that love is not about sparing each other from struggles, but about facing them together. In time, as he learns to trust that your relationship is strong enough to bear the weight of life's difficulties, he may become more willing to open up. His fear of overwhelming you will diminish as he realizes that true love is not about carrying the load alone, but about sharing the journey in all its complexities. Until then, understand that his moments of retreat are not a lack of love, they are a reflection of how deeply he cares for you. When a man loves you, he often wants to be everything you need, a source of strength, protection, and stability. Yet, beneath his desire to meet your expectations, he may wrestle with unspoken insecurities that he struggles to articulate. These insecurities can stem from a variety of sources: fears of inadequacy, doubts about his ability to provide or protect, or concerns about whether he is truly worthy of your love. A man's unspoken insecurities are often rooted in how he defines himself. Society frequently teaches men to measure their value by their achievements, abilities, and capacity to solve problems. When he feels he falls short in any of these areas, his sense of self-worth can be shaken. These doubts may cause him to retreat, not because he doesn't love you, but because he fears exposing what he perceives as weakness. For a man who loves deeply, the thought of disappointing you can be overwhelming. He might question whether he's living up to your expectations or if he's capable of giving you the life he believes you deserve. These questions can lead him to withdraw, not as a way of pushing you away, but as a way of grappling with his own inner battles. He may choose silence over vulnerability, hoping to work through his insecurities privately before bringing them into the relationship. This withdrawal can be confusing and painful for you, especially if you interpret it as a lack of trust or connection. However, his behavior is rarely about doubting you, it's about doubting himself. He might believe that sharing his insecurities would diminish your perception of him, or that exposing his fears would burden you. In his mind, protecting you from his inner struggles is an act of love, even if it creates a temporary emotional distance. Understanding his unspoken insecurities requires patience and compassion. Instead of pressing him to open up, create a safe and non-judgmental space where he feels encouraged to share when he's ready. Let him know that his worth in your eyes is not tied to his perfection or achievements, but to his authenticity and willingness to grow alongside you. As he begins to see that your love is not conditional on him always having the answers or being flawless, his confidence in the relationship will grow. Over time, he may feel more comfortable expressing his vulnerabilities, trusting that they won't drive you away, but instead deepen your... For a man, this process is often unspoken and subconscious. He may not even fully realize he's testing the relationship. However, his actions stem from a desire for reassurance and need to know that the love you share isn't fragile or dependent on ideal circumstances. He wants to see if the foundation is built on mutual trust, patience, and understanding rather than fleeting emotions or convenience. In moments when he appears distant, he's observing how you react to his absence or silence. Do you panic or accuse, or do you respond with grace and faith in his intentions? These reactions matter deeply to him because they reveal the strength of your connection. His love for you makes him crave stability, a partnership where both individuals can trust in the relationship's ability to endure highs and lows. This temporary withdrawal may also serve as a reflection of his own doubts and fears. He might be asking himself if he is capable of sustaining the relationship, if he's ready for the commitment, and if you truly value him for who he is. His moments of distance allow him to analyze these questions, but they also give him a chance to observe your level of patience and understanding. Testing stability isn't about pushing you away, it's about ensuring that the relationship is healthy and balanced. It's about making sure that love is strong enough to survive when things aren't perfect. A man who loves you deeply doesn't want to risk building a life on shaky ground. So these moments of testing are his way of ensuring that the bond is genuine and enduring. For you, this can be a challenging experience, especially if you misinterpret his behavior as a lack of interest or love. However, the key is to remain steady and confident in your connection. Show him that your love isn't swayed by temporary shifts in attention or circumstances. Demonstrate your patience and faith, not as a form of passivity, but as an active commitment to the relationship's growth. In time, his testing will reveal the strength of what you share. He will see that love built on trust, patience, and understanding can withstand any trial. And through this process, the bond between you will deepen, grounded in the knowledge that your relationship is not just about fleeting emotions, but about lasting commitment and resilience. In the end, love is not simply about constant attention or never experiencing moments of distance. It's about understanding, patience, and the quiet strength that holds a relationship together through the highs and lows. When a man who loves you seems to ignore you, it is not a reflection of his feelings for you, but a manifestation of his process, whether it's his focus on building a future, working through his emotions, protecting you from burdens, battling insecurities, or testing the stability of your connection. True love requires trust, space, and time to grow into something unshakable. So if you find yourself questioning his actions, remember that love is not always expressed in the ways we expect. It is found in the moments of silence, in the space where each person works to become the best version of themselves, both for themselves and for the relationship. The key to lasting love is understanding that even in moments of apparent withdrawal, the foundation is being strengthened.